to episode 398 of In Touch with iOS. The show talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, Mac, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and we are here for another fun-filled episode here. The great panel as always, and let's go ahead and see who's here. Well, Jill McKinley is here, as always, in her first spot. How you doing, Jill?
I'm doing great. It is going to be a great Friday, and it is super darn cold outside with a foot of snow. How can anything be bad?
No, I'm like right next to you there. It's been mighty cold here this morning and during the day, but yes, we got some cold weather, and it's heading east for you, Chuck. Chuck Joyner, how you doing?
Well, I was doing fine up to the time you told me that, and now I'm not so sure. But other than that, yeah, I did hear we're supposed to get some interesting weather over the weekend, so I may just hunker down here and huddle inside the monitors and keep warm.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, so glad you're here. So glad he's here too, and he's got another visitor behind him. It's Eric Bolden. How you doing, Eric?
Doing great. The Cardinals are all puffed up, trying to stay warm. So,
yeah, that one's not red.
Female Cardinal.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, thanks for being here. Guy Serle's here as well. How you doing, Guy?
I'm doing great. Dave, thanks for having me on. We're all excited because it's Thursday night, and we know what that means.
Yes.
He says in his DJ voice.
Yes, he does. Thank you for being here.
Weather.
Marty Jencius, thank you always for being here. How are you doing?
Good. I just came from a dinner with my son. It was, I went out with him and his fiance and rushed back here. The best part of it is I stuck him with the bill.
Perfect.
That a boy.
Well done, sir.
That's the best way. Well done, sir.
About time.
And also, last but certainly not least, Jeff Gamet is here. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing all right, and I'm happy to be here, hanging out with my jazz hands friends.
Yes. So, thanks for everybody being here. We've got plenty to talk about this week. Breaking news, though, and it just got released today. Apple did announce the App Award winners. We've been talking about it for the last a week or two. So we found out what the number one of all the apps were for iPhone Phone of the Year. There's iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Vision Pro, Apple Watch, and Apple TV. So with apps, it's Timmo, which was a iPhone app. I was not familiar with. So this is an AI planner and to do. So that is cool. Has anybody tried that app? I have not.
I have not, but I downloaded it.
Okay. So that is cool. We also have what was it? The iPad app of the year was Detail. I'll just run through these. Essayist is the Mac app of the year, and no surprise on Vision Pro. Marty and Marty and Eric can say is Explore POV. We did. I think one of us picked that during Vision Profiles, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that was the games. I mean the apps, and there was a number of games as far as that goes. I'll just mention Vision Pro was Porta Nuba. I wasn't a huge fan of that game, but that's cool. I think Eric, Marty, you did like that, right?
Yeah, I did. It's takes a little more trickery to get into the game, but once you get into it, it is. I think these were mainly chosen based on design and based on the interface more so than whether I'm going to be good at it. So yeah, it's a mesmerizing game and uses the spatial environment really well.
Yeah, it does. It does. So the rest of the games is Pokemon TCG Pocket for iPhone, Dredge for iPad, Cyberpunk 2017 was Ultimate Edition for Mac, and What's the Clash on the Apple? It was the Apple Arcade Game of the Year. So they even have an Apple Arcade version of it here. So I mean, like another year, another list of fun apps that were awesome out there, and. Anybody else have any comments about these picks? Or anything that you've used that stands out?
No, but I was interested in that
Grand Theft Auto
one.
to come out for the Vision Pro.
That sounds glorious and so wrong at the same time. Make it happen.
Yeah.
You mean I can beat people up in 3-dimensional space?
Yeah.
What's not to like?
Right?
Yeah. What is not to like? So
Yeah, I do use Storygraph, which I like quite a bit. What's its face? Amazon bought. I forgot what the app is, but it tracks your books that you read, and you could look at community reviews and stuff like that. And they didn't do anything with it, and it's really awful. And Storygraph came in and is an amazing book app if you are a book person.
Yep.
Oh, well,
it'll
maybe
help
I
you
should go
find
check
books.
that out.
Like maybe you like thrillers, but you don't like betrayals. You can nuance it, and it'll help you find new books. So it's really cool.
All right. Good stuff. So, and then Apple did announce its 2025 podcast of the year. It announced that The Rest is History has received the 2025 Apple Podcasts Award Show of the Year for high quality and cultural impact. This show was launched in 2020. The Rest is History is a history podcast hosted by British historians Tom Holland and Dominic Sandbrook. It explores historic events ranging from the rise and fall of the Roman Empire to the sinking of the Titanic. And I guess the rest is history does a phenomenal job of taking subjects as vast as human history, captivating a global audience. Yeah, it looks like a kind of a cool. I've not listened to this podcast before. Have any of you here on the panel listened to this podcast?
I listen to it regularly. I love Tom Holland.
That Tom Holland or not that Tom Holland?
Not that Tom Holland.
Okay.
There's a good meme about it. I'll find for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dipped into it recently because it was a pick on one of the gift guides that has not been published yet. So I don't want to give credit and send people to so they don't listen. But yeah, it was described as something that really sounded interesting. And after I tried it, it's like, oh shoot, now I got another one that I need to keep up with because this is so good. And then it popped up in this award. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might have to check it out to see how it is. So we guys will get close to the end of the year. We get all this fun stuff to talk about. So that just got announced today as we record. So let's go ahead and move on to In Touch with Vision Pro. They did release all the betas this week. So we're going to start with Vision Pro 26.2 release candidate. So that means it's coming out, we hope, next week as we record. Interestingly enough, besides the release notes that we usually talk about from the developer site, I actually got the copy of what the notes were as you installed it. So it had a list here of a number of the 4 key things that was added, which includes the updated expanded travel mode to cars and buses, add support for hand-drawn content with spatial accessories, and includes other features as bug fixes, security updates for your Vision Pro. The travel mode, what that does is it's going to let passengers use the Apple Vision Pro on cars and buses in addition to airplanes and trains. And support for hand-drawn content with spatial accessories like the Logitech Muse, which I have. I need to try now for sure, which I still haven't made time for. And that in Notes and Freeform and any Pencil Kit-enabled app. And then tables in Freeform can hold text, images, documents, and drawings with cells that are intelligently resized to fit, bringing in structure in the content to your board. So a number of interesting things that got released. Looking at the release candidate notes, again, there were some bug fixes that gives you more descriptions, but nothing really notable in this list, but that's why I was glad I was able to grab that list there because you actually finally something in English for most people who are not developers be able to know what was actually released. What's your thoughts on this, Eric?
Well, tables in Freeform was enough for me to actually put a beta on my Vision Pro. So
wow, which is it's RC. It'll be out next week anyway. So yeah.
That's like it's like the regulars. Eric's like a regular now. I'm so over this. I just want to get to 2.3 or 26.3 beta 1.
won't be probably too far back after next week. So
Yeah.
But beyond that, there wasn't a lot of exciting things to talk about. So I figured that was a good highlight, at least to look forward to when 26.2 comes out. Like I said, probably next week. So let's go ahead and move on. And we move on to beta this week for all the rest. iOS 26.2 release candidate was dropped this week. A number of them were released. It was both iPadOS and iOS. And we've been talking a lot about that they brought the liquid glass slider on the lock screen, adjust the transparency of the clock. Plus, it brings AirPods, live translations, translation to the European Union. And then the Reminders app now supports alarms for when tasks are due. And there are updates in the Podcasts app and Apple News apps and all kinds of stuff. So, like I said, likely we're probably going to see a launch next week. So that's exciting. Specifically iPad OS, we're probably going to expect some more enhanced features with split view and slide over multitasking, which is returning. And the new windowing system which debuted did drop support for that originally, but the Apple was heard things loud and clear that they needed to bring that back. So that will be interesting to see where that goes. And then watchOS, tvOS, and visionOS, and we talked about visionOS, also was released. Nothing really big notable as far as that goes. And I said tvOS really didn't have much to really talk about with that, which is not surprising. Any comments on anything with these releases coming up?
I'm just kind of waiting for them to hopefully fix the tvOS problem where it just jumps from whatever I'm watching back to the home screen.
Oh, okay. Were you running beta on the tvOS?
No, and I've if I told my wife I was running a beta and whatever it was she was watching suddenly just went, the next thing that would happen is I would go, and that would be the end of me.
So you're going to try
it?
Not on the TV show.
You should try it. Oh my gosh. All right. So that's beta for this week. Let's talk for those apps. Also notably on In Touch with Mac this week, Tahoe, the release candidate got released as well. Nothing big with there's some bug fixes. And they included something called Edge Light, a new feature that is for video calls. Adds a border of soft light around the edges of the Mac's display to illuminate your face in darkened rooms. And it's meant to mimic the look of a physical ring light. So that's interesting. Again, it doesn't seem like these beta updates are going to have a ton of new things here. So there's really much else to say about that. And then another story I found here real quick is that some of us use ExpressVPN as a VPN, a service of choice. They now have, I didn't even know this, they now have a native Mac app. It's better on the Mac, faster on iOS. Years that the Mac app was adapted from the iOS version, ExpressVPN now announced that they have a native Mac app. It's built on Catalyst framework, and that it's more deep system integration with Mac OS specific optimizations. Visuals are much smoother. Window resizing and multitasking feel more responsive. So, again, I think Chuck, I don't know anybody else here uses ExpressVPN other than anybody else here. And this, I didn't know this. So I don't know if you guys did. As far as
go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Dave, you just validated for me why I've been using TunnelBear all these years.
Yeah.
If they've gone this long and they couldn't they couldn't actually do a Mac native app,
yep,
they do not deserve praise for releasing their Mac native app. They should be embarrassed.
I kind of agree with that statement.
I missed the cranky pants today. Oh, Chuck. No,
No, too late.
Do not defend them. There's no defense for them.
I'm only going to defend them from the standpoint that they got around to it. I mean, look, I know if I look at my household chores and think of the number of things that should have been done a long time ago and haven't gotten done, but when I get it done, I want somebody to pat me on the back.
Yeah, I caught this story, and I use ExpressVPN. I have added Surfshark on it just because I've heard so much buzz from you guys about it. And
that's my choice.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying the pleasures of both of them, but I had never seen a problem with the app or the ported app that they were using up until I heard that it wasn't really a Mac app or a Mac OS app. I mean, it's worked fine. So today, I went in after hearing about this and upgraded. And frankly, I can't tell any difference between what they had as an app to what this new Mac native app is in terms of functionality and terms of way it works. So
yeah,
they fooled me.
Yeah, they fooled me too because I didn't even know. I mean, I was a subscriber at one point, but yeah, I was kind of surprised that wasn't the case. So, but all right, so let's move on to to a little bit of In Touch with AI this week. It seems like I got plenty of stories about that, so I've kind of continued on this segment here so we can talk a little bit about what's been going on with AI. Anthropic launched Claude Opus 4.5 and improved coding and agent capabilities. It's a new launch that says it's the best model in the world for coding agents and computer use. It's improved over all prior models for everyday tasks like deep research and a step forward in what AI systems can do. According to feedback Anthropic received from early testers, Claude Opus 4.5 completed tasks that were impossible for Sonnet 4.0, and that was able to handle ambiguity and reason about trade-offs without hand-holding. And the Opus 4.5 model offers better vision, reasoning, mathematics skills, coding than the prior versions of Claude. I have not spent any time using Claude. Has anybody here used Claude for any reason? I figured Marty, you did.
Yeah, just from a testing basis. But again, I think everybody wants to be the best at every AI product wants to have some identifiable significance. And they're trying to up each other in certain areas. ChatGPT has now a separate kind of model that is used for coding. They're trying to pull coders away from whatever other AI they're using. So it's turned into kind of a competitive smorgasbord. They all wind up tasting the same after a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else had experience with Claude?
I watched a guy on YouTube program in Claude because I'm not a developer, and I think it was writing his release notes and his documentation as he was programming, and I thought, this is wild, absolutely wild, what it can do.
Yep.
I had
so. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just share this. I went to a conference recently, a business conference, and they were trying to explain vibe coding, and they had everyone sign into a Claude account if you had a laptop with you. And then they showed you what prompts to give it. And it was a prompt to basically design a classic video game like Asteroids or, any Space Invaders or any of those. You could pick the one you wanted and you hit the button and you watched it write the code and then you could play the game right there.
Wow.
And now, look, it was not terribly sophisticated, of course, but it really gave you a sense of, okay, I just went from telling it, just a couple little things to having something that was actually running and workable. So that really got my attention in a big, big way.
Yeah. So anybody else with that? All right. Let's talk a little bit about ChatGPT. ChatGPT now has added shopping research feature for holiday gift finding. They added this new feature, which is meant to help you find the right products for everything, from simple household products to gifts. You can tell ChatGPT what you're looking for, and shopping research will build you a guide to help you make decisions on what to purchase. OpenAI says that it will ask for smart clarification questions, research deeply across the internet, and review quality sources, and use context from prior conversations to build a personalized buying guide that is up to date. And I just was just kind of summing this up. It looks like that's another nice addition to anything in AI. ChatGPT doing this as well. Has anybody have even tried it? Because I have not.
I have tried it. I asked for a couple of different things, and the one thing I really wanted was a DaVinci Resolve savings code, and it didn't find one for me, but it was able to find other things, and it was really good. I thought it was pretty impressive. And Google seemed to be trying to do the same thing too, but I like ChatGPT better, so it was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else that tried that at all? It's something to check out anyway, because Christmas is not too far away if you're still working on your shopping, and isn't a bad idea to check that out. One other thing with ChatGPT, which I'm kind of sad to hear about this, is the fact that they might start showing ads. Now, if they're doing this while I'm paying for this, I got a bit of a problem, to be honest. But OpenAI appears to be gearing up to introducing ads in ChatGPT, but they say presumably probably users who don't pay for access to the chatbot. Engineer Tibor Blaho recently found references to upcoming ad functionality in the ChatGPT Android app, code strings mentioning search ads to carousel, and an ad API. Though ad mentions were found in the Android app, it's likely a change that's coming to ChatGPT on all platforms. So I guess it was inevitable. This was probably going to happen at some point.
They got to make money.
Yeah, especially for people who aren't paying for it,
like me.
I would hope subscribers would. Not everybody has to pay for it, but you get good results. But across all the main ones, but it's it's something to happen. What do you think? What do you think on this, Jeff?
God, it's like you knew I was going to have something to say.
I know you well.
you really do. When I saw this news, I immediately heard Cory Doctorow's voice in my head going, and this is how you get in shitification. But Guy is also right. They have to make money, and ad revenue seems to be the go-to for online revenue generation. For me, this story ties into the last one about your shopping lists, and maybe I'm just being a cynic here, but I do wonder if the two things are related. Like, hey, make a shopping list for me of the best gifts I could get, and things that are sponsored have a higher likelihood of showing up in the results. Now, to be completely transparent here, I have no information that tells me that's actually what's happening or something they're planning. But seeing how technology companies find ways to use ads to generate revenue, I could totally see something like that happening.
Yeah. Marty, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, as we're talking about this story, I realize, thank God I pay for it. I'm not going to be pestered with ads. And then I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I won't be pestered with ads. And recently I started paying for Reddit because I'm a big consumer of Reddit, so I won't be pestered with ads. So I think the merchandising of it is to get people to pay to avoid ads as much as the ads trying to generate revenue. Because when I get stuck reading certain articles where there's lots of pop-ups or slider windows you have to move past, I cannot tell you what that ad is. But to get rid of that garbage, I think that's a revenue stream for a lot of these folks.
Yeah.
The question then, Marty, is how are you more valuable to the company? as someone paying for a subscription or as someone who's having ads injected. And it probably depends on the company. Yeah.
There was a Black Mirror like that where he had to pay. His walls were all screens, and he had to pay to get rid of the ads from blasting 24/7 to get an hour of quiet.
Yep. So,
that's just
anybody else? Anything else to add to this?
It's inevitable.
It is. In the chat at youtube.com/InTouchWithIOS, we have Witherbucket, and we have Webb just showed up. How you doing, Webb? And then Brian was here earlier. Witherbucket says, I heard they backed off ads after some of the new AI stuff dropping from other companies like Google or Microsoft. Okay. And he also said, I don't use free or paid, so I'm good with either way. And he laughs.
That's the best way to avoid all the ads.
Exactly. So,
okay,
good
Ben
stuff
Franklin.
here.
And also the 21st century. But
yeah, there's that. Two more things real quick on AI. Apple Health integration seemingly coming to ChatGPT. OpenAI seems to be working with Apple Health integration for ChatGPT, although it's unclear when the functionality might be made available to the public. The latest version of the ChatGPT app for iPhone contains a new image of an Apple Health icon hidden within the app's code. The image of a file name suggests that it will possibly connect Apple Health app to ChatGPT so you can receive more personalized and useful answers based on your health and fitness data. I don't know how I feel about this. I would hope to be able to opt out of this if I don't want, my health data going out to ChatGPT. But I also see its benefit for helping narrow down a lot of the stuff that app already does. What are your thoughts on this, Jill?
Well, I've been using ChatGPT as a food log for food tracking and having it run through correlations of, various things. And it's fantastic at it. Like I noticed that when you ate sugar later, it was starting to tell me things I never noticed. And I thought, that's pretty insightful. And so I am all about it. In fact, I think I hoped for it during my presentation at MacStock.
There we go. Another good health presentation we to look forward to. Chuck, did you have any thoughts on this?
We'll wait and see. I'm not sure that this is a great thing. I'm hoping that there will be some controls to turn it on or off. I would be shocked if there weren't. But back to the whole thing of how much of my personal information do I want to share on anything, and especially to a large language model. So yeah, mixed feelings. If it could be a one-way street where ChatGPT could give me information without knowing my information, that'd be nice. But I don't think that's quite possible. So
yeah. Jeff, you got thoughts? Huh?
I have thoughts. My first thought is nope. But then to expound upon that, Chuck, you hit on a big concern for me. How can this work without ChatGPT actually having any of my personal health information? And if the answer is, well, ChatGPT is going to have the information and so they can ultimately they do with it as they please. I don't care how useful the function is. I will not enable it. I do not want to share my personal health information with systems that have already been proven to be fast and loose with all privacy. And so that would be a hard no. If there's a way that this can all stay on device. Okay, now you're talking about something that's really interesting and really compelling, because the things you can do with AI to find those patterns, track those patterns, and give you the insights that you wouldn't otherwise be able to find, like Jill just told us about, there's a ton of value in that and could potentially save lives. But if my life is in the balance of you're going to have to give all your health info to ChatGPT and it just goes into their system, or you're going to die, well, let's have a party before I go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a strong
Marty?
stand, Jeff.
Apparently, I just literally chose the hill I will die on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marty. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of think they got this backwards. I think Jeff was kind of alluding to this, and Jill also. This idea that ChatGPT is going to be integrated with health. We already have an integration with Apple with ChatGPT, where the information is anonymized and they go out and use it and get it that way. That seems like a pardon the pun, healthy way to do it in terms of privacy. I do have a friend, many of you have met him at MacStock, Gary, who's, I don't know,
Gary.
85 in 10 years or something like that. He uses ChatGPT for a lot of medical questions.
That's
and
great.
I think his attitude about it, and I think he said this to me, was, I'm 85 years old. Who cares if they have my information?
Good
so those of us that aren't that close to the ledge, probably feel strongly about privacy. But he loves it. I mean, he loves asking medical questions and scenarios to ChatGPT. He has a paid version of the model, and so different strokes for different folks.
I kind of said the same thing about 23andMe that before it could be used against me, I'll be long gone. Although it ended up having problems anyway. But I just recently, today, had a medical scare that I had to go see a specialist for, and I was kind of freaked out about it. And I did tell ChatGPT about it, and it told me what to expect during my appointment. It told me the likelihood it was going to be severe, and it told me to just chill out because it probably isn't. And it was absolutely right. And I'm like...
See, this is the conundrum that we have right now, because what you just described, Jill, that's fantastic. And that's really useful. I mean, being able to go in to any sort of health related appointment where you're already nervous, but you can go in already knowing exactly what's going to happen and how the whole thing plays out. That's a really great thing.
It gave me the right questions to ask, because I asked him at the end and he goes, "Where did you get these questions?" I'm not going to tell you. But the ChatGPT also said to bring some headphones. There's a lot of waiting in this appointment, so you're going to get stressed out, and why don't you listen to something while you wait? And I went, "Oh, you cared about me."
How nice of you.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Super useful information. And then we have the other side, which is, and now ChatGPT can use that same information that you provided for anything they want. And
right.
And here
think of
my problem.
Think of most of your friends. $20 a month is cheap to have a friend.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
I think I have a self-title there.
You know, Marty, I cannot argue with that logic.
Oh my gosh.
I'm offering the Guy Serle subscription service.
Okay. Guy, add some thoughts to this. Step in here.
Yeah. I accidentally put all of the meds that I take, their side effects, into Suno instead of ChatGPT, and I got this lovely bluegrass song about all of the things that my medications will do to me.
Oh my gosh!
All kidding aside,
I want you got to publish that.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it. It scared the hell out of me.
I think that's what's been on repeat on my HomePod all day.
It's on my playlist. Just sign up for my friendship, and you'll hear it.
So is signing up for your friendship sort of like ads on YouTube that we pay to not have your friendship instead of
too? Either way,
there's two tiers. There's the regular friend tier where you can talk with Guy all the time.
Yeah.
But then there's the premier level where you do pay more. So when you call, Guy won't answer.
Yeah.
Guy,
if it can be anonymized going in both directions, then I'm okay with it. Apple is using ChatGPT for a lot of stuff at this point, and I'm kind of surprised that they haven't just gone ahead and bought them and then just integrate it into various aspects of the operating system that they have, because Apple has shown to be for the most part, a pretty good steward of our information, or at least where, they don't have access to it because, it's encrypted and all the rest of that, to the point where, they're pissing off the FBI and everybody else because they go up, we want to have this information. And they're like, sure, figure out the hash. There you go. And, they can't give it to them. Now there's the downside, of course, that when people die, they can't get their photos to their loved ones and all the rest of that. But at the same time, Apple is taking care of us as far as our information goes, as far as we know. So if whatever large language model Apple ends up using going forward into the future, I would expect that it would be anonymous. Someone help me here.
Anonymous.
Thank you. The fact that ChatGPT has some kind of marker for it already built in a upcoming version, chances are they have been in talks with Apple for it, and that it's not just going to go into ChatGPT with our names and addresses and emails and phone numbers and all the rest of that. So I think we'll be okay.
Could be worse. It could be Grok.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Last word on it on this, Eric. You have anything?
Yeah, this might not ever see the light of day. I think that it's possible this is really being used to fix Apple Health as a way to get all of the pieces all set up so Apple Health can work with a bunch of different tools. And this is just a convenient way to do it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's move on. But before we move off of this, I wanted to give kind of experience I actually experienced today at work. I was working on something. Someone asked me to create a list of all monitors that we use in our environment that I have a list of when we purchase them. And he said, well, okay, I need you to create a list. And they're Dell monitors. I would give model numbers and get the specs in it and everything like that. Think about what you'd have to do. Go out to the web, copy all this information, try to put it into a spreadsheet and do all this stuff. Well, I used Copilot for this, of course, because I use that at work. Asked all those questions. And I say within 5 minutes, I had everything I needed in that spreadsheet. And I even asked questions like it knew right away, do you want us to put the MSRP price into it, or you just want to leave it blank and then you add yours later? Because most companies pay less price because we get deals because we're buying in bulk and buying large amounts usually. So like I said, I think it was less than 5 minutes. I had the spreadsheet to them, and just another prime example of giving thought to how you utilize something like AI in generalities of things. I mean, it's just a kind of a nothing crazy thing to do, but it just makes me think more. Like I have to think about it every day. Anytime I get asked a task for something to do, what's the first place I'm going to go? I'm going to go to AI, and I want to ask that question. I think a lot of us here already do that. So that was a good kind of a cool thing. And the spreadsheets was, I mean, it's all formatted, looked pretty. It was all prettied up. I didn't have to do any formatting, nothing. It was in an Excel spreadsheet. Sent it who needed it, and they got what they needed. Just super cool.
I think I told you that I was in a board meeting and someone asked me the question, could you find out how many times this person showed up to our meetings this whole year, weekly meetings, and how many times did they say a word in any of the meetings? Ran it all through ChatGPT or Copilot because and did great.
Yeah, so just another tidbit of why people out there, don't be afraid of AI. It's really, you can't ignore it anymore. You really can't,
unless you don't speak up at board meetings.
Yeah, well, there's that too. So,
I know
a quick more comments here from the chat room here with the book. It says, usually when I pay for companionship, you had to go look up an ad in the back of a book in Vegas. Okay. And then Brian asked you, Jill, most importantly, Jill, did you say thank you to ChatGPT? I hope you didn't, because you don't need to.
I did not say thank you to ChatGPT.
As far as I'm concerned, that causes to spend way too much extra time here. So, but yeah, so that was fun. So, all right, let's move on.
I have a confession to make.
Oh boy,
there are times where I will use ChatGPT for a research thing. Like I'm trying to figure out some weird esoteric problem, a tech issue, and Google is essentially worthless for that sort of thing now. So I'll feed it into ChatGPT and I'll give it very, very specific information. Here are the things that I've already done. These are the things that will come up in regular search results that are wrong. Do not give me any of that wrong information. And then it just comes back and gives me exactly what I told it not to. And then I chastise it. ChatGPT, you're clearly not listening to what I'm telling you. You are not paying attention. I told you, do not give me this information. And that's exactly what you just did. Now, let's try this again, where you do what I asked you to go do. And then
and I'm sure it apologized, right?
It apologized. And then it went, and instead of just giving me, boom, here's your instant wrong result, it does the thing where it sits there for like a minute, just popping URLs up in front of me to make me think it's like really trying this time, and then giving me a different answer. But I have no problem wasting our Earth's resources chastising ChatGPT for failing to follow clear instructions.
Yes.
It's like raising a teenager.
It's a lot like that, but without the smell.
It's hard. My friend and I are trying to decide why it's so good. And, because you could Google things. You would not know how to Google some of the things that you research on. And for this particular reason, I went to the doctor. I was asking questions and it said, well, if this was an emergency, they would have sent you to the ER or neurology. And since they didn't send you either to the ER or neurology, which is the standard action, the doctor does not think this is serious. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I would never have known to Google that. You found something I never could have thought to ask.
Yeah. And one last thought, we're going to move on.
Yeah, just on Jeff's ChatGPT comment, I'm getting in the habit, if I'm doing anything of the research nature or whatever, I'm using my final prompt in the discussion is, "Are you sure?" Because there have been a couple times it came back and said, "Oh, my bad," or something to that effect. No, here's the accurate information, and it makes it easier for me to then go and check, because now it's sort of called itself out on what might have been wrong, and I can go and double check that it is actually right now. So it's just something to think about. If you are, especially if you're doing research, is just let it correct itself, because it didn't apologize completely. It just, acknowledged that it gave me incorrect information.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on. And, all teasing, Marty always likes teasing me because he thinks I hate patents when he always talks about vision profiles. So, and I don't. I think it's interesting information, and I do appreciate what you do share about that, because there's some good value to understand where Apple's direction is going. And it's interesting that we're able that Patentee Apple has access to that stuff and finds it and provides it to us. So it's a good service. So, but we talked about this, and we were going to save it for this show. I wanted to give out Marty the opportunity to talk about it. Apple has a crease-free foldable phone, liquid metal, that's in the hinges, and this was interesting to see where this goes. So, what did you give the thoughts on this, Marty? What this was all about?
Well, the article talks about how they're going to do a combination of a titanium frame, which we've seen before in phones, and using liquid metal. I don't know. When I think of liquid metal, I think of Terminator 2. I don't know what liquid metal is, unless it's like mercury that you push around on the table and it poisons you. But it's an interesting concept. They're talking about it as being crease-free foldable iPhone. And I see, if that's the case, what we're going to do is have two screens that then kind of move into each other, that are actually separated. And as much as people talk about the crease in other phones, frankly, if you haven't spent a lot of time using a foldable phone, if there's a crease there, you're looking right through it. You're looking past it. It's only when you stop to look at it, it's like, oh, there's a crease there. And people who don't use the phone over a period of time, there have been some structural problems with creases in the early Samsung phones and such like, but they've gotten so much better with it that for people who don't use it, they notice the crease. For people who have used it for a period of time, that just kind of disappears into your eye view, and it just becomes part of the working platform that you work on. But I think the idea of having even two separate screens that are side by side, close enough where you've got a path that crosses across them, people will eventually ignore whatever separation there is between the screens and just work with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Marty, want to ask a question, because I think your point is extremely well taken in a production environment. But how about for just using the device for entertainment? I'm not sure I would be able to look past a crease while I'm trying to watch a movie.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how that if the design I'm suggesting, where there's actually a separation between the screen, the other ones that have creases have one full screen, where instead of like two separate pieces, which is what they're suggesting with this Apple. I don't know how entertainment would go on that. I think maybe you wind up watching it on one of the sides and you don't get the full benefit you would have for a work environment. I haven't even watching media on the full screen on the Samsungs that I've had and the Pixels that I've had. It, to me, again, you kind of ignore it. It's like you're busy in the media. You're not paying attention to the fact that the screen has a bit of a crease in it or a pleat in it at some point, because you're too busy enjoying whatever you're watching. But if you stop to look at it, you'll see it there, and that's what critics will write about it.
Yeah. Let me bring some more people in the chat from here. Witherbucket says, liquid metal sounds cooler than just company name, referring to how to make the alloys. That's a good point. I like that. And then he did also say, I've seen creases that look better than others, but it feels distracting to me. So I would tend to agree with that as well. So that's some interesting comments about this. So, well, again, it's a patent pending or patent. You don't know what, and we don't know what Apple's doing. It's a rumor, but it's definitely something that we're going to potentially see next year. Who knows? We don't know. We can't say until we get closer. And we don't report on a lot of rumors here, because you don't. Like I said, it's a rumor. So, anybody else want to add anything else?
It's a product that doesn't exist yet.
Exactly.
We'll see what it's like when it does finally come out.
Exactly. So, all right. I'm not going to get into heavy, deep stuff with this, but every year Apple always shares their year-end charts, year-end, your music replay. They even have Apple books that are available as well. So year-end charts will basically what that is the Apple Music. They release their year-end charts highlighting the new global listening. So a lot of this music probably we here on this panel may not listen to, but you could take a look at it. It goes top songs of 2025 globally. What was top 100 from the use of Shazam, global radio and lyrics, and Sing, using the Sing app. When there are people sitting using it on Apple TV when you do that. So take a look at those lists. There's those are interesting to see what those are all about. And then we've had the last few years we've had the Apple Replay, which is now fully available. And again, I've still not figured out how to separate music of my wife to me, because if you have to guess what number one was again. Taylor Swift. So it wasn't me.
But it's okay, Dave. You just go ahead and embrace your Swiftie side.
I did, but I was happy because I've been listening to a lot of Supertramp lately since Rick Davies just passed. and I've been listening to Rush, and then those came in my top 3. So I'm at least happy that it picked something I know I was listening to. So
yeah, the next Bob Seger album going to be huge.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, these things,
or Steve Cropper, who just passed.
These things are an annual reminder of how out of touch I am. And yet, especially I'm still capable of having a happy life.
Well, you say that.
Yeah. So anybody else have anything to add about these?
I liked my replay. Made me happy.
What was your number 1 song?
Well, it's not gonna make you guys happy, but it's it's just like it's all 80s music.
Don't wrong with that.
Yeah, but Amy Grant and Madonna, which is like one you would not put those two people together often.
Yeah. All right. And the books was also listed. I didn't see which one was the some of the big books. It went through a bunch of list of books there, so check out that article as well. Relates to that. And let's dive into a couple other things. Apple is now starting to push iPhone users that still are on iOS 18 to upgrade to iOS 26. They're now encouraging you because it's now showing up in the list as opposed to being down at the bottom when you go into software updates. So they're starting to encourage it. So they want it to be more prominent. So because people were pretty much ignoring it, none of us, of course, so we upgrade. But it's been September since it was launched. We're in December now. So yeah, I think you're probably in a good spot. Well, like we've already talked about, iOS 26.2 is going to be out. But they're going to start pushing it more. So they've been doing this since iOS 15. So just be aware that that's there. And there's nothing wrong to upgrade at this point. I think it's been pretty solid. Unless, Jeff, you have other thoughts on that?
I definitely have other thoughts on that. I'm still telling everyone, if you haven't updated to any of that Apple 26, whatever, don't. And I will reassess that when 26.2 comes out. But on the Mac, holy forking shirt balls. I would not recommend anyone install Mac OS Big Lake. And then there are enough issues that like individual issues, you can kind of overlook stuff, but when they start aggregating together on iPhone and iPad, there's just enough going wrong still that I'm not comfortable recommending anyone go to 26. But just like when 26.1 came out, I will reassess when 26.2 is officially out, and I can dive in across all my devices, and maybe I'll change my mind at that point. And I hope I get to change my mind at that point.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I only had one problem, and Chuck got to see it, so there you go.
Oh, that's exciting.
Tahoe's been great for me, other than that one time.
It's the audio issues are enough for me to say just avoid it. And the icing on the cake was I'm doing a Mac user meetup, and partway through the meetup, my audio completely crapped out. And so I actually keep the pkill core audio ID terminal command handy so that I don't have to type it in the terminal every time.
There you go.
Yeah. You know it's bad when that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to add anything?
I haven't had any of those issues. Maybe I'm an outlier rather than and I do a lot of stuff in audio. So I've heard.
Yes, so I've heard too. In other news, though, not necessarily focused on anything we really talk about, but I thought it was important to mention Crucial. I was one that would buy RAM from them all the time. I would buy hard drives. I would buy solid state drives. They have decided that the Micron who bought them now wants to sell its RAM and SSDs to AI companies instead. So this has been a long-standing provider of consumer memory is winding down as the prices spike, and Micron is now shifting to focus to AI. And this is all the solid state drives and the RAM kits. And that they decided it's a big blow for PC builders and hobbyists because a lot of that product would be used. It's been 29 years since this company has been in existence. And through all of my career, I remember buying a lot of these products to do upgrades and to add things to my built PCs at the time. And because, with pricing is going up, RAM is getting affected, solid state drives are getting affected in price. So kind of RIP to Crucial and their products. I mean, I'm sure many of you here have purchased their products in the past, right?
Well, it's not like it's really going away. They're just pushing all their stuff to
it's not consumer anymore.
That make servers and whatever for AI.
That's RIP for consumers, us consumers who love to purchase their products. Yeah.
And considering that you can't put RAM or even really hard drives at this point natively into any Mac product or any Apple product, actually, I guess it's not a big deal for Mac users or for Apple users. PC people will be unhappy.
Yeah.
I guess I'm horribly behind the curve on some things. So Mac Pro, which, as crazy as it sounds, is still a thing. You can't put memory in a Mac Pro? I thought that was part of the thing with it being a tower.
Those are still Intel. But yes,
the Mac Pro
you still can.
Yeah.
Wait, the Mac Pro is still Intel?
Yeah.
Intel Xeon. Yeah.
What the? Holy crap. I thought they had moved that up to... Oh, wow.
No.
Okay. Apple should be embarrassed.
The Mac Studio is essentially the new Mac Pro.
The new Mac Pro, and it's like all locked down like every other Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I didn't realize Apple's still making an Intel Mac. Well, I guess at this point they're just kind of.
Are they actually still making them, or is it because I can't believe that the Mac Pro was a big seller in any significant way. So it's probably whatever stock they just happen to have still in a warehouse, that you have to you have to kind of Indiana Jones your way into it and avoid falling boulders to get a new Intel Mac Pro.
Guy, we're both kind of out of the loop, I think.
I'm going to be angry about it every year.
Yeah.
So it's not an Intel processor.
It's not.
Do you want to add something? Chuck?
Jeff just got it. Yes, it's an M2. It's an M2 Ultra.
Right. But that is kind of crazy that it's on an M2.
I have not even heard about that.
Yeah, well, that tells you how great they are at marketing the Mac Pro.
Oh, so they did move it. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's what, just kind of another change in the way the industry's going. So sad to see, but it's part of how things go here. So just a few more news stories before we wrap up here. iPhone car keys are coming to support to more Audi vehicles. Apple is preparing to bring support to the digital car key feature by select Audi vehicles in China based on evidence that was uncovered. Mac rumors found this on the Apple back end. So it's been out since 2022, and they've been slowly adding cars to this list. So again, nothing exciting that's in China, but so you're not seeing that here, at least just yet. So I don't know if anybody has anything to add on that. All right. And let's go into the fact that, Marty, did you buy this battery? This is the MagSafe battery for your iPhone Air.
Yeah.
I believe you did. And it does have a firmware upgrade to it. It's the MagSafe battery accessory. It's a new version that it was upgraded from 8B25 from 8A351 in the settings app. It'll list that firmware. This is the second firmware upgrade that Apple has provided to iPhone Air users since this battery was released in September. Of course, you don't know any details of what fixed it, but did you notice anything that was wonky with that battery?
I haven't used it enough to be able to tell you what it or how it is. I took it with me on my trip, but I had a cable charging my phone while I was using it in the car, so I didn't need the excess battery. The only time I'd use it probably, and one of the reasons I got it was if I'm going to be spending all day at a conference, and I did do that in Philly and had it on the back of the phone. But right now, what resides on the back of my phone is my wallet, with a MagSafe wallet on it. If I'm going to put a bump on it, it's probably going to be my wallet.
Yeah. All right. This was interesting. I found this interesting. The iPhone 17 demand is breaking Apple sales records. Apple's iPhone 17 lineup is selling well enough that Apple is on track to ship more than 247.4 million total phones and iPhones in 2025. This was a report from IDC. The total shipments are forecasted to grow 6.1% year over year due to the 17 demand and increased sales in China, which is a major market for Apple. And overall, worldwide smartphone shipments across Android and iOS have forecasted to grow by 1.5%, primarily because of the success of the iPhone. So, got some numbers here showing through some of where things have been going. Look like iPhone and iOS is making quite a jump here when it comes to market forecasts. So, again, these are numbers that are not provided by Apple, so you kind of take it with a grain of salt. But IDC is a pretty reputable market research team. So, anybody have anything to add about this?
Doesn't surprise me. It's such a good phone. Although I heard orange sold last.
And I love my orange phone.
I love my orange too, but everyone was saying, "Oh, you can't get an iPhone 17 anymore unless you want orange."
But you say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, 17 Pro. You have to use
17 Pro.
Yeah.
My orange.
Yeah. All right, and then Apple did release an interesting, kind of a cool ad. I thought it was a new video that highlights the accessibility features available on iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch. Apple says that its products are designed for every student, with the ads showcasing the use of accessibility features like the magnifier and voiceover in college. Apple products are designed for every student, says Apple. Accessibility features use like the magnifier on the Mac, accessibility reader, the Braille access, voiceover, sound and name recognition, and live captions can improve access, enhance learning, and create new opportunities for people with disabilities to study, socialize, and succeed in college. Thought it was a very kind of a touching video, and I thought it was cool to see that anybody who has an accessibility issue is able to do this. I mean, it's people with legs missing and arms and just anybody who has any physical challenges. The iPhone is just an amazing device to be able to use, and the iPad and any Apple product. So I don't know if anybody had a chance to see this video, but I thought it was very cool, really cool, really well done, well made.
I think it's interesting that it's coming out now, and this would be sort of a pre-school year ad that would make sense
normally.
Yeah. But I think it maybe sort of is a Christmas ad in a way for people. Yeah. It's been remarkable what Apple's done with accessibility, starting, I think, with screen readers. I had some students who had really vision issues, blind, and were using the screen readers in terms of listening to email and stuff like that, and then just going beyond that in all sorts of different directions. It's really, you don't see that. You just don't see it anywhere else.
You really don't. Anybody else?
I loved the ad. I thought it was great. And one of the things that's so fantastic about Apple right now is that whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're someone who has disabilities and wanting to go to college, Apple will help you do whatever it is you want to do and do it successfly. And I thought it's perfect. It's really just such a great message.
I would still like to see anybody do something for those of us who have monocular vision. There's really nothing out there for us.
Huh. Well, you make that suggestion Apple's suggestion site. Oh, hey, you need it. You never know.
No, it'd be interesting to see if they do something with the glasses when the glasses come out. If they find some way to duplicate screens.
Yeah, and just put them both on whatever screen it is that you have vision with. Yeah. But I'm looking, if the Apple glasses will adjust themselves or allow themselves to be adjusted for people with limited vision or with vision issues. That would be fantastic. And the Vision Pro, I know will do some of those things, but that's big and bulky.
Yeah.
I'm talking about something that's just connected directly to your iPhone, either through Bluetooth or some kind of direct connection, and will allow people that have vision issues to be able to, instead of having to go and find large print books, you have a book, a physical book. I'm not talking about digital books. You have a physical book in front of you, and it would allow you to blow up the print a little bit and, just kind of follow along with the book. The actual art of reading a physical book is something I sorely miss. And I would love to see something like that.
Yeah. So, anybody else? All right. Last story I want to talk about real quick is about Apple Arcade. They just got the most downloaded mobile game ever. And more. They received 5 new games today, as we record this today, including Endless Runner Subway Surfers, the world's most downloaded mobile app. Since its launch in 2012, the game has received billions of downloads across all platforms. The premiere of the Subway Surfers Plus edition on Apple Arcade offers the same run as the classic game, but without any in-app purchases and ads. Oh, there's what a concept there, huh? As well as the result that there's new ways to revive the character, collect items, and in progress. There's a spin-off game called Subway Surfers Tag, which was already released in Apple Arcade in 2022. The other 4 games that were added is, there's a must. You got to play something that involves sports. SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob Patty Pursuit 2, a sequel to the popular side-scrolling game Power Wash Simulator, which involves pressure washing dirty vehicles, homes, and more. I really got to go see that one. That seems very funny.
Yeah, nothing says fun more than washing a house.
Power washing your car, right, or your house.
That's also in Vision Pro. They have a Vision Pro version of that. Yeah,
of course they do.
Okay, I got to check that out.
We make fun of this, but I do know people that play these kinds of games.
Oh, yeah.
And they find them
people that, and like the farming simulators and all the rest of that is kind of like, I don't get it, but okay, whatever floats your cookies,
Yeah, yes. And for me, something like the Power Washer games, I have no interest in that at all. But the people I know that play them, they play them because it helps them self-regulate. And it's like this very calming thing for them, helps them focus, and in situations where they otherwise might not be able to maintain that focus or maintain their, like a calm demeanor in what would otherwise be a stressful environment for them, they can do this, and it's like, hey, I'm chill, I'm cool.
My friend's husband loves power washing, and so I told him about it and said, "Hey, you got Arcade. Go play that game." But I play American Truck Simulator, where you drive trucks and deliver things, and I don't know, it's so relaxing.
Witherbuck,
I play it while actually driving.
The Power Wash simulators are super cathartic. So there you go.
Gives feedback.
Especially when you turn them up and it can like take the skin off of somebody. Very cathartic.
So you upload pictures of what
popular political versions,
popular political figures, and power wash the skin right off their skulls.
Yeah. And then there's Jeff's favorite, which is Sports Ball 3. Go home team, go.
Right? Oh man, that's the best.
Yeah,
it is.
Which costumes are you wearing today?
I just waiting for that one. Cult of the Lamb Arcade Edition and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Plus. There's other was wrapped up, those new ones. Well, check them out. It's definitely going to be. It's got some good, kind of cool games. Arcade has really come a long way. I think it's got some good stuff. Even got, but the wife is addicted to the mobileware game, the Solitaire Plus, and then she's playing it now. So the games can get very addicting very quickly here. So, all right. Well, thanks. This was a great show. We had a lot of great things to talk about this week, and we had a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and wrap up this week. I'm in a reverse order here. Let's start with Jeff Gamet. Thank you for being here, Jeff. And where can people find you?
Dave, thanks for tolerating me, putting up with me. But just thank you. So you can find me on social media as Jay Gamet. I'm active mostly on Mastodon, PixelFed, and Blue Sky. Although, since it is December, I'm doing my Lego Advent Calendar. So yes. I am posting back to Instagram for the month, because I know that's where a lot of people look for the Lego calendar stuff that I post. All right, then for shows, Tuesdays, Chuck lets me join in on Mac Voices Live. Here we are on Thursdays. Thank you for letting me join in on In Touch with iOS. On the British Tech Network, The Big Show and The Mac Show, Brian Chaffin and I, we do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro or Rewatch.
Excellent. That's excellent. And Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. We always have a pleasure having you here. Where can people find you?
Can you go to somebody else? I'm power washing right now.
Yep, Marty's making me super clean.
Yes. Yeah, you can be clean by the time you finish.
Yeah. You can find me at Jencius, Jencius, at mastodon.social, also at Blue Sky. Vision Profiles with Dave and Eric and Daniel on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming, and you can pick it up any other time. Tuesday nights with Chuck, and that's just a big gang of fun people covering some really cool stuff with tech news and things like that. Thursdays here with Dave on In Touch with iOS. Occasional Friday mornings with the Mac Show on the British Tech Network with a lot of the folks here. And the rest of the things that I'm doing, the rest of the podcasts, you can find at thepodtalk.net.
Thanks so much, Marty. Appreciate it.
I'm going back
Guy
to power
Serle.
washing now.
Go power wash there. Guy Serle, so glad to have you here. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me every Wednesday on the G-Men show I do with Gaz, though I've had guest stars for the last 3 weeks as Gaz has been away, but I believe he's going to be back next week. Of course, if you would like to talk to us, just type in G-Men show at iCloud.com and those messages will get to me toot sweet. Yeah. I continuously spread my nonsense across Blue Sky and Twaxter and occasionally Facebook and some of the other weird places that the old people always go to. What else? I guess that's about it. I enjoy being here on Thursday nights In Touch with iOS.
Enjoy having you.
I've been away for too long, Chuck, from your show, and I really think I need to get back on there and spread more of my thoughts. What do you think?
I think you're welcome. Whether the audience will agree with that, I don't know, but you are definitely welcome as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Guy. I really appreciate you being here. And Eric Bolden, really appreciate you being here, and that beautiful cardinal behind you there. Where can people find you?
I can be found on Mastodon at gabolden at mas.to. Otherwise, I go for kind of progressive news consumption throughout the week. So we start with visionOS on Mondays, and on Tuesdays to Mac Voices to get all the Mac news. And then, of course, here on Thursdays, kind of rounding out the week with the rest of the news from everybody.
Great. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Chuck Joyner, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And that's always a pleasure having you. Where can people find you?
Thank you, Dave. It's always a pleasure to be here. MacVoices.com is where you can find everything I'm doing, including our holiday gift guides. Some of the folks here have been on, some have not yet, but we're going to try to get everybody that wants to be on. And on all the socials, you can find me at Chuck Joyner. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And last but certainly not least, Jill McKinley, where can people find you?
Well, I just sit right here until the following Thursday. So I never move, and I just wait for this show to come back on. But if you want to see other things I do, you can find me at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. It has all my podcasts, and they're all YouTube channels, and one is released every day of the week.
Great. Thanks for being here. And I just want to make sure I tell everybody here that you can listen to you can go to our feedback site to where you can send us email that you can answer questions, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Mastodon at InTouchWithIOS. You can support us by going to intouchwithios.com/coffee and buy me a coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. There's two tiers available to support the show. We would really appreciate it. And you make sure you like, share, and subscribe when you're notified when we're live streaming, which is Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intouchwithios, where you can watch the current and past live streams as well as listen to past shows. You can subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher, including Podcasts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, just go to our website at intouchwithios.com. All the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Blue Sky and Mastodon at DaveG65. And with that, I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody listening, watching. You appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed the show. But until next time, we'll talk again.